Welcome Aquarius to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 20th of May for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now is the event chart which can guide us with some important pointers at the start of the week. Not least we need to look at the planet which is most visible, and it's the Moon. And the Moon in Libra is looking for fairness and balance, but also in the 9th house it's a truth seeker. But it's in an opposition with Mars, which is in an intense conjunction with the point of destiny, the North Node, very much to do with our instincts. Your ideas are something you're going to need to express this week, but you're going to want to do it in a quick, urgent way. If you meet resistance, that could lead to frustration. I'm just making you aware of that. But also, we've had a big collective of energy developing in your 4th house, very much to do with home, family, emotion. Because Uranus has been such a disruptive energy over the last few years in this part of your situation. The fact that Mercury arrived to join up with the other players here last week suggests that maybe something really needs to be concluded. It could be that you're moving home, adapting where you live, redecorating, perhaps buying some furnishings, working on your garden. It's possible you could be renting out a place or looking to lease somewhere yourself. There may be some news around your family. There could be a gathering or a reunion. All of those things are possible as we come into this new week. But Mercury clashed when it moved last Wednesday with Pluto. That became exact last Friday. Maybe there's something that you feel quite strongly about in terms of your individuality that you've had to just bend a little bit around in terms of the actual circumstances you have. Maybe they're not absolutely ideal, or maybe someone close to you sees something in a different way. But what I love about all that energy in Taurus, particularly having Venus and Jupiter there, is that after the struggles and the disruption that Uranus may have created, this is a chance to find a greater sense of peace, equilibrium and comfort. And also, as last week drew to a close, there was a Jupiter cazimi. Now this happens only once a year, and of course Jupiter moves through each of the 12 zodiac signs usually once a year. We had a bit of a change to that pattern in recent years, with going through 2 signs twice in 2 years. But Jupiter's back in that 1 sign a year pattern. But when it moved into Taurus on the 13th of May last year, the Sun was long down the road in the sign of Taurus. So we're getting the Jupiter return in Taurus late. So it's possible that even if something hasn't quite fallen into place around a property matter or where you're living, it will do so over the next 12 months. So do keep the faith, and remember Jupiter is about faith through its rulership of Pisces, and have confidence, its rulership of Sagittarius, that that can still yet come to pass. So that gives us the background at the start of this week. But then, wow, things really speed up. The Sun, Tuesday to Gemini. Venus to Gemini Thursday. Jupiter to Gemini on Saturday. But what's really powerful about those transitions is they all link with Pluto in the 1st degree of Aquarius. That Aquarius energy is under review because of the retrograde, and obviously when Pluto inverts back into Capricorn at the start of September, we do have that final interlude of Pluto making its way through Capricorn to the 20th of November, the last time in our lifetimes. But big Aquarius energy is coming. And the thing with Jupiter, because it is so cyclical itself once every 12 years, and Venus doesn't go round the heavens in a regulated way in the way that the moon or the sun does, we've got 2 very rare alliances to Pluto this week. Venus and Jupiter linked to Pluto for the first time in 220 years in these 2 zodiac signs. And think about the host. Pluto is in an air sign, but a sign that's very much to do with progression, but also tradition. There's a duality to Aquarius, but in the early part of the sign of Aquarius, it's in the first duord, or the first 2.5 degrees, the 12th harmonic. the energy of Uranus, of progression, is definitely amped up. But the Sun in the 5th house, in the quick moving, communicative sign of Gemini, is about play, but it's also the sunshine part of your particular journey of the sun through the sky. So what I mean by that is the 5th house is very Leonian. So the host may be about communication, quick wits, being very funny, Gemini, sociable, mixing and mingling, but the 5th house is where you showcase what makes you really, really sparkle. Think of the radiance of the sun. It is known as the luminary. It lights us up. It is our life force. This is your life force week, with the Sun, Venus and Jupiter all merging into that 5th house sector. But the key is Venus and Jupiter are your planets of fortune. The 5th house can be where we speculate. It's a bit more to do with risk taking. It's the sector of chance, or chance as they would say, bon chance in France. So this is a wonderful opportunity to bring a spark of willpower, Pluto, of being open to the evolution of your life, Pluto, of Jupiter growth, of Venus, how you showcase your attractiveness and personality. If you decide to give yourself some kind of magnificent makeover, get some new clothes, dazzle people with your warmth, this is the week to do it. But what about that full moon? Well, it's a full moon, to be honest, that I think has a lot for it. Full moons are challenging because the moon and the sun are not unified like they are in a new moon, where they're working collaboratively. They're competing. And of course, they've got very different energies. The sun is about where we're directing our action energies. The moon's where we want to protect. It's more reflective and receptive. But both are impacted by Pluto in a very constructive way. The sun a trine and the moon a sextile. So two very helpful planetary alignments. So what I would say is that the 5th house is what you need to do for you, the individual. The 11th house, where the moon is, ironically, is very much a flavour of what you are as an Aquarius. Someone who has a great appreciation of friendships, the big picture, can be the humanitarian. So you're going to need to juggle really a little bit, because more than one person may decide that they do want a piece of you, and you're going to have to decide who is the right person for you. But something enormously dynamic can unfold this week, particularly if you've done the hard yards in advance. And of course, Saturn's been testing out the whole process over the last year in terms of our self-worth, in terms of finances, in terms of our values. So if that hard work has gone in, a lot of application, a lot of dedication, been trying to get that home or emotional life just as you want it, and it's been a little bit of a fight, there is the chance over the next year to really see that fall into place. But on the tails, the coattails of that, hurtling in, is this chance to absolutely light up people. And one of the ways that you light up people when you're on form is when you have the confidence to be truly yourself. Because, especially if you're an early born Aquarian, that Saturnian energy can cramp you. It can inhibit you from really embracing that more zany and quirky vibe that Uranus can create. If you're in the 2nd decan, you're often a brilliant communicator. If you're in the 3rd decan, you're often very charming and can avoid some of the more feisty interactions that early born Aquarius people always seem to find themselves in. But whatever type of Aquarian you are, this is a golden moment, not just this year, but this lifetime. It's that powerful. So whatever you want to manifest that's important to you, whether it's a child, whether you want to start your own business, whether you want to give yourself an incredible makeover, whether you want to set your intentions to meet the love of your life, whether you actually want to go from being a flirty, fun relationship to something that's more solid, whatever you want that combines your emotion with your heart's desire, that's what this week is about, Aquarius. Have a great week. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please support it and do so now.